So I'll go ahead and look over today's price action. I want to start by looking at the daily chart. Really strong rally through here. Wasn't expecting it to be this strong. Notice it is following a wedge pattern that we have down here. These three pushes and get this bull ball way down here. And, that would have been a reasonable swing trade to be buying above that bull bar. And this is what followed after that. So we have had a pretty strong move up. My concern is now is that we're getting up near the prior highs and looking like a double top up here. I mean, you can look to the left and you could draw a dozen double tops or more on the chart that I have here. But so double top here, double top with there or here. And, when the market's in a bull trend, double tops fail, right? We continue to get lower highs and we continue to get we get higher highs and higher lows, and we continue to get that. So, double top only means so much in a bull trend. However, it means that bulls might start to rethink about their aggressive buying for a bit here. They're starting to get far from the moving average, and we are coming up to the previous highs. So, they're going to be rethinking, do we want to continue buying as we come up to the all-time high and against this possible double top? Looking at the 5-minute chart, we can see that today ended up selling off, which does not bode too well for the bulls, especially considering the double top on the daily chart. Right, so this, in fact, is going to act as a sell signal for the bears. So we have a first entry sell here, and this would be the second entry sell. So if the market goes below this bar next week, that'll be a second entry sell, and there will be some bears that are selling below that, and there will also be some bulls that are exiting their longs below that bar. So, big picture, not a big deal for the market, but just something to point out for next week. Going into today, I thought we would have a little bit more buying than we did. Looking at yesterday's 3 bars up at the end of the day, this was fairly strong, and we did get a small second leg up here on the first 4 bars. So, strong move, pullback, and second leg, small second leg. And then from there, just could not get higher highs. We had a lower high here, and the market just ended up just giving up and collapsing down. While we're still kind of on the topic of the daily chart, I want to look at, we do have gaps that are below. So we've had this strong rally the last few days, and that rally has caused these gaps, this yellow area here. We can see the high of this day and the low of the next day, the next couple of days, do not overlap. So there's a gap here. There's also a gap lower down here with this high and then this low. So gaps like to be filled, and real good chance that especially this gap here, will be filled early next week. There's a chance both of these be filled next week. So if that would happen, there'd be more than a 100-point drop over the next week. So that's kind of where some of my concerns come for next week. Is we're coming up to this double top. We haven't really seen many signs of bearishness until today, so we'll probably need a little bit more up before the bulls really step aside. So we'll have to see probably more of a trading range up in this area here, and with targets below like these gaps. There's a chance that the market might really collapse down here and close this in the next 30-40 minutes. Probably not, but that has happened before. And I will point out, I was considering selling here and starting the video with a trade like this. I decided against selling below this bear bar. I'll point it out. I'm not going to leave it on as a trade, but it's this bear bar here. I was thinking of selling below that because big picture bear trend today, we do have these gaps below that are targets. And, we have prior lows like these lows here. The market might be interested in testing. We also have this sort of a failure on the part of the bulls. Let's see a tail here on top. And then market's trying to get above this resistance level, then it can't. And then we see these lower highs, these bull bars, their highs are lower than the previous highs. And it starts to get lower and lower. Then you get this big bear bar. And so I like the idea of selling below that. My issue is that there's so much overlap right here. So, this is really a trading range. And remember, we're selling below this bear bar, we're betting on a breakout of the trading range, which is low probability. So I don't think it would be a bad trade selling below that. I think that'd be a good trade for a lot of people to take and to gain experience. And I think your odds are reasonable selling below that bar. To me, I wanted to wait because there were just we have 5 or 6 bars overlapping right here, and then we are inside of a larger trading range. So because of that overlap, that usually makes me wait and hesitate. And so not a bad sell. I don't think it is as good as it could be though because of this overlap. Let's talk about some of the trades though. First trade is kind of as simple. Basically it's a breakout and retest and then continuation. So what I'm looking at here, I'm considering the breakout being of this moving average and of yesterday's close and of the open. So we can see markets moving down. It gets below these levels. It gets below like this level here. This kind of acts as a support level here. It gets below this. We can see market tries to go up higher above the moving average here and can't. And then it tries to go up higher again and then can't. So, we have this double test of this moving average and of this support and resistance area. And then it's also just a double top here. All right, it's a double top. We have been in this bearish move for a bit and getting close below the moving average bearish bar. Either of these bear bars I think would be okay to try to short below. One concern I had with shorting here was that we were coming up against support on the bottom, which is this. So we had this strong move from yesterday, this low down here up to this high, and the 50% pullback puts us around this area. So, at this point, are we already below it? To me, it looks like, yes, if we're selling here, it looks like we have already tested this area sufficiently, then we're below it, and we would be going lower. But we're still kind of in the area. We haven't really, really clearly broken out of this 50% pullback yet. So that would be one reason against taking that trade. Because of that bear bar failing, I think this was a reasonable short. When you have something reasonable that then fails, there's usually a strong move in the other direction. So this bar fails, then we get this strong bull bar here, the strongest bull bar of the day, and it's a double bottom. So probably bears are trapped and they're scared, and they're probably going to be getting out after this bull bar. So that's why I have this marked, because with the context, there's probably going to be more up after that. Possibly the start of a larger swing up. This might be the early low of the day, and then market might double its range up. Something like this, especially in the like what we were talking about yesterday with these 3 bull bars. We're expecting there to be a lot more up, or possibly there could be a lot more up. So then when you have this pullback that's still around the open, it's still early in the day, this could be the bottom of the day, and then from there we're just going to have a trend up the rest of the day. So I think buying above this bar is reasonable. And for the same reason, I think buying above this bar is good too, or above this bar. And you can see any of these buys were good for a scalp. You would have ran into trouble if you were trying to go for more than 2 times your risk. Swing trade on this first bar would not have worked, but a swing trade on this bar or this bar would have been just fine. And of course, scalps like 5 points. Just going over 5 points, that would have worked as well. So as we get over here, then we get a surprise bear bar down. So this is following. We have 10 bars up here. Basically, 8 of them have a bull body. And suddenly you get this big surprise bar. Now, if this was a very strong trend up, then I would probably think of this bear bar as a buy the close bar, where we would rather buy the close because this would be a pullback that would probably fail. But this, right, we really look at this area. We really aren't trending any. We're in a trading range here. And at this point around here, I was thinking, are we in a trading range? And we're just high in the trading range here. And this strong bear bar down, I think really hurt the idea that we might get a trend up from here. I was thinking this might be a trend, or we could be high up in the trading range. And this big bear bar at least, put a bull trend in the back of my mind. So at this point, I'm thinking either trading range or bear trend. Now, I thought trading range would be more likely. And you can see, buying below bars here or buying the close would have been just fine. Well, it would have been fine for a scalp. And if it is a trading range, then you should be trying to scalp and avoid trying to swing trade. As the market starts to spend more time below the moving average, then I'm in my mind, I'm trying to balance, is it a trading range or something else going on? And trading range will often have highs and lows where the highs are around the same level and the lows are around the same level. But here, look at this day, we can tell something different's going on. We have a high, then the next high is lower. And then we have this high, and that's lower. And then look at the low of the day. Then the next low is lower than that. So we're at this point here, we're starting to get these lower highs and lower lows. So it still could be a trading range, but it's just odd that we're getting these highs that are lower and the lows that are lower. And you start to notice that we've had several strong attempts up by the bulls, the first 4 bars, and then we have this spike here that led to a channel, but then quickly reversed, and then we have another attempt here that quickly reversed. So these bull moves are getting shorted pretty strongly, and I think here this is kind of a classic pattern that I like to be trading. We have these multiple attempts up to go above the moving average that are failing. And then now we're getting below the moving average. So I like to either be scalping below a bar like that or just going for a swing trade. And you can see if you would have gone for, let's change this to 5 times your risk. So that's 5 times your risk. And you could have even gotten more out of that than 5 times. So when you see this one side kind of failing and giving up, and then you're noticing a point where they might be giving up, then I think that's kind of what you want to be trying to find, and that's going to be their give up point. And then below this bear bar, notice we get 2 big bear bars, so we know bulls are giving up below that bar. As we go lower, not really, any signs of bullishness. We did have 3 bars in a row here, which was good. Ultimately ended up just being a pullback and led to lower prices. And the next 2 bars that I have marked are both shorts. And, these are pretty straightforward shorts. We're in a trend. And after a pullback, then we're getting bear bars. And so it's a pretty simple way to get short. And it's probably better to try to swing trade below these. So, you know, when we see this trend, you want to avoid thinking about ways to get long. You only want to be looking to get short. And what's the easiest way to get short? Well, bear bar, then just sell below that. And then put your stop somewhere, and then go for 2 times your risk. And normally, if I think the market's strong like this, I'll just put it above the high of the bar. If you're concerned about a deep pullback, but you think that the market will end up trending lower, then you should be putting your stop below the major high, which would be, at this point, it'd actually be up here. So you're putting your stop above this bar and selling here. And then basically, you're just going to ride out any pullback that happens. So you would be still be short through all this. And basically, you just stay short until something else happens. You know, if the market starts to show signs that it's actually going to go up, then you get out. And if it doesn't do that, then you can continue to just have this, you know, large move down and take advantage of all those profits. So this trade I was talking about over here, this possible idea, the market hasn't really moved much yet, and it's, you know, past 340, so not too much time left. So what could happen? These collapses sometimes happen in the last 5 or 10 minutes. But lots of overlap usually leads to more overlap. So there are a lot of reasons I like selling here, but I think this overlap just made me hesitate on that and not interested. So let me know if this video was helpful for you guys, and, you know, leave a like and comment if it was, or if you have any questions. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. It'll show these videos to you, and once your day is done, you know, most days I do have a trade review, and you know, the video will be right there for you. You can go see, and you know, I kind of, you know, in this format, I'm kind of studying with you and showing you what the day did, and explaining the parts of it. And of course, I don't just do trade reviews. I have other videos that explain trading and futures, and kind of I have all kinds of topics that are kind of in this field that I'll make videos about. So guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.